Good day, everybody. You are welcome to our channel again. This is the EXPANSE community where we have honest conversation. I've got wonderful people on the show today, and we have a hot topic we're going to be discussing about. So, my dear guests, the topic we're going to be talking about today is, let me just give context, yeah? So, I stumbled upon a post online where a lady complained that a guy wasn't really making enough effort to be close to her siblings. I mean, the guy just felt like it didn't really matter to be close to the siblings or the relatives or even the parents as well. So, but then the lady was so bothered about you not having that cordial relationship. So the question now is just, what's your take on this situation, and how do you tend to, perceive this, or do you even think it's a deal breaker for you? So I think we can start with Gerald. Yeah, sure. We could just start with you.
Um, it's definitely not a deal breaker for me. I think if a lady that I'm in a relationship with decides to not have cordial relationship with my siblings or parents, I think I can live with that. But again, it will depend on the situation. So if what would be a reasonable situation would be most cases except a case where there was a fight or it can be solved, but she chooses not to engage or not to try to solve, or both parties decide not to solve. Because if it's a case where there's pride in between, the whole relationship, then I feel like if it can be solved, it should be solved. If it can't be solved, then I'm fine with it.
But then the situation now is she's not okay with the guy not having a cordial relationship with the parents, because the guy feels it doesn't really matter. They are the only active people in the relationship. So for you in that situation, we can also hear from a lady's perspective. For you as a person, but I think we'll go with Dania. Let's go with Dania.
For me, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a deal breaker, but I would love for the person I'm in a relationship with to have cordial relationship with my family.
Why?
Because I think maybe it tells on the type of relationship I have with my family, my siblings. I have 4 siblings, and I love all of them equally, and I have maybe like a little bit different type of relationship with each and every one of them. But if I'm with someone, and I think it depends on the timeline too. I was going to ask, how long have they been together too? If it's something early, like, I don't think, like, chill, just wait and let it, yeah, exactly. Let it cook. Just wait a while. And I don't see myself being in a relationship with someone, let's say, for 3 years, and they have no cordial relationship with my family. I don't think.
Is it a must?
It's not like you don't have to be so friendly or overly, like, just be yourself. And because I would also like to know your family. For me, if I have to date a man, I need to know that he's responsible, like, he has other people who he talks to, he has siblings, he respects his parents, because it's very important for me. If or even not just parents, because you never know the situation of your partner and everything, but someone that he respects and family members around that he's close to. Imagine someone you're dating and they have no close relative or anything. I don't know. That's just how I feel.
My question is, does he expect me to also have a cordial relationship with his family?
While saying you shouldn't have, like,
Yeah.
while not trying to.
Yeah, like, how do you expect? Because I'm a very sociable person, and I'm like, there's no way there's a social function and your family happens to be there. There's no way I'm going to just walk by. Or like, yeah, no, listen, like, there's no way. It's weird.
Awkward,
Like,
yeah.
how do you expect me to relate with your family if you don't want to, like, build any relationship with my family? And I also feel like it's very important to get to know someone through the family too, because it's not everything that he's bringing on the table that's true.
Sure.
So if we're new in the relationship, fine, I'll let you cook. I'll give you time to, like, adjust. I'm not going to show you to my parents. I don't expect you to show me to your parents, because, we don't know where it's going.
It could be waiting till that time.
Exactly. But then if we're far in and there's potential, and there's still that family factor lacking, like there's no connection to families, then I feel like I don't want to call it a red flag, but like there's a question mark somewhere. What is the underlying factor? Why don't you want to have a cordial relationship with my family? Like at least my siblings, right? I have one brother, like that's not much, just one person. But it's just one person, and I mean, you don't have to do much. But then the thing is, it's weird because then when you have like family functions, when you have things where the family has to come together, how do you expect people to relate with your partner? You want to feel at home with your partner's family and vice versa. So how is that going to? I feel like it's just weird, you know? And it doesn't make sense. And if somebody's not ready to commit to that family level, for me, I think that person would have to like reassess everything and like sit back and just like, yeah,
But then with what you said,
think about
she
it.
just talked about commitment.
Yeah.
That might not mean the guy is not committed in the relationship. He feels it's not necessary. There might be other things that are kind of germane to him and not necessarily the cordial relationship aspect of things.
Yeah. One important thing is to just communicate. For me, I feel like everything I just have to communicate with you, my emotions, how I feel, good or bad, however it ends, it's good. But then the thing is, if you don't communicate how you feel about his relationship with your family, then it's going to be assumed that you're okay. Right?
Okay.
So I'm like, babe, hey, like, I don't know what's happening, but like, my parents are coming over, you know, it would be nice for you to have like this, be nice to them or like, you know, connect with them in a way. But if he's like, no, then there's a problem. Like, they've not done anything to you, you know, give it a chance. And as Gerald said, if there was a fight or something, that's different. But if like there's nothing and you just don't want to have a cordial relationship, like what's wrong with your, like I don't know what's wrong.
It
Like
could be deeper than that. So
Yeah.
let's go with family. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think I would say in the early stages, you can understand a guy being like, okay, let me focus on you. Let me understand
Makes sense.
about you and like, let's not, before we go into like involving the family and everything, I'm like, okay, let's talk to each other, let's understand each other, and then build from that. But if it's been going on for so long, like a year, 2 years, 3 years, and it's like you're not even making an effort, I feel, and also it plays a part. Like for me, I'm very close to my family. I relate to my family on a very close level. So for you to have an issue with my family means, and you know, I wouldn't say my family is that kind of family that is like, oh, judgmental or like, you know, always like that kind of family that is all up in your business kind of thing. But for you to have an issue with my family means like, okay, maybe I should rethink, like, is this the person that I should really be, you know, talking to that level? So I think that's just, you know, a personal thing. But in the broad aspect, I think, in the early stages, just get to know each other for each other. And then, because imagine, first date, second date, the person's like, oh, come to my house and talk to my family and see, and see my dad and my mom and everything. Like,
Calm down.
then it's like, oh, chill. But, you know, as the relationship progresses, I think it'd just be natural for you to like, you know, your plan, like if you're thinking long term, you plan to be with that person long term. So the family would definitely overlap, and it will be important to have a good relationship.
So, but in that sense, yeah, go on. I was gonna even come to you.
Yeah, actually, after everybody talked about family and stuff, I also think that it depends on your relationship with your family. Like for me, my relationship with my family, let's say my mother and my father, it's not that deep.
Okay.
So I wouldn't need my partner to be like so cordial and very friendly to my family, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm also not friendly with them.
Okay.
So it's like I have a family. I know that if I need something, I can go to them. But we are not that close. So I'm not expecting my partner to be too close to them. But be nice, be okay. If you're there, if you're going to a gathering or something, just be there, be nice, respond to everybody. But you don't need to be all in their face and being friendly and everything. Because me too, I don't have that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
So I think it also depends on how you have a relationship with your family. Are you guys close enough? Can you live without them? Can you live with
Exactly,
your
that's the
partner
question.
not
Yeah.
being close to them? So it also depends. Like it's a whole.
But from a female perspective now, because you know the context is more like, I mean, the female, the lady not being happy with it. When exactly do you really expect your partner to start getting close to your siblings? So let's just even talk about siblings now, before parents. Right? I feel parent situations like you're taking like a step higher. You know what I'm saying? So now let's think about the sibling side of things. So I think let's go with the lady's opinion first, with the sibling side of things.
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah,
with
sure,
mine.
good.
So with siblings, also personally, I wouldn't think that it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Actually, I would like my partner to be more close to my friends.
Okay.
Because I have like step sisters and step brother, and they are so younger than me. So I don't need my boyfriend or my fiance to be
That's
right.
that's babysitting.
Yeah, that's babysitting, right? But also, I think where he needs to be close to my siblings or anybody close to me is when we are going to be committed, like we're going to marriage and stuff like that. Of course, we're going to have kids, and I'll need assistance from anybody, sister, cousin, anybody. So he needs to be close because those people will be in our home
Yeah.
for some time. Maybe I'm having a kid, they are going to be there to help. So he needs to be close to them. I think that's where he needs to be close when we are married and planning to have a baby. Something
Okay.
like that.
I'm going to come back to that question. I've got a question on that, but I'm going to come back to that line of question. But we need to hear Silas' opinion as well. I mean, what would be your take on that? I mean, being close to your partners. Of course, like we said, yeah, siblings, of course. I mean, I think it's important as well to be close to the friends. I mean, that's not a problem. But, you know, sometimes we just want it to stop at the friends, at the friendship level. So, but then for you, what would be your take on that?
That's a big question. The first thing I would say is that it should not be forced.
Okay.
That's just it. It should not be forced. Let it be natural. But of course, there has to be intentionality about it. I think it's important. We're talking about relationships, perhaps ones that are leading to marriage, right? So you don't want to put yourself in a situation whereby you are not surrounded with love or by people that might be useful, people who are really invested in your life or invested in your business. So I feel that both parties, that is the guy and the lady, they have to talk about these things properly. It's up to them to decide when it's best to introduce themselves to their respective families, especially siblings. One person should not be pushing, in a sense, while the other is feeling uncomfortable. That said, speaking to the first question, I think if we grant that they have been in that relationship for a significant period of time, then that lady has genuine concerns. Now, there are patterns that some partners, it could be male, it could be female, might have, whereby they are maybe narcissistic or they are the type that wants to shield off their partner from the family that fellow is coming from. And if you don't pick that sign or the symptoms, or I mean, from the time we are in a relationship, when you get into the marriage, it's even going to become much more a problem. For some families, you just realize that that member of the family no longer functions, isn't connected to the family they are coming out from, only because of the person that they are married to. So, like I said, it shouldn't be rushed, but both parties should see eye to eye and discuss this out.
Okay. So, but then now let's look at the side of the deal breaker side of things. Now, because we just talked about the issue, like you said, it shouldn't be forced, yeah? We need to look into it. Then it's more like saying, well, let's just give a context of the guy seems to be a very good person. I mean, everything is perfect. He's got money. He's got a good job. He's got wealth. But then he's not just interested in the cordial relationship. Is that a deal breaker for you? Ladies. He's got money. He's got money. He's got wealth.
Yeah, he can have everything and still lose his soul.
So, but then, I mean, is that a deal breaker for you?
Silas said, don't force it. I wouldn't call it a deal breaker because deal breakers, I don't think you give deal breakers time. Like, you see something, maybe your deal breaker is lies. If he lies, you're done, right? You don't give it time like, okay, let me wait for him, let me be patient. He's lying now, maybe you'll not lie tomorrow. You keep lying.
Was lie permitted?
No.
That's what she's saying.
No, listen, I'm saying, for example, if your deal breaker is lying, like, that means when it happens, that's it for you. You can't take it in, like, you can't
lie.
No, don't divert. No. See, don't change the topic. We're talking.
There are different situations.
Yeah, but
Well,
I'm
like,
just saying generally, just as an example. Now, coming back to this situation or topic we're talking about, it's more about having a relationship with my family. Yeah. And these things take time. So for me, I wouldn't put it under the deal breaker category because deal breaker for me is something that is not, like, you don't allow it.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you space to even exhibit this again. You did it, that's it, you're out.
Just once.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
even after like 3-4 years of dating.
I mean,
you see the deal breaker.
For me, I feel like that's like, he should have known my deal breaker.
It's a promising kind of relationship. But let's dig
listen.
Let's dig into this deal breaker thing. Let's dig into it.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about.
I'm going to go from Daniel's side.
Okay, fine.
Deal breaker for you.
Deal breaker for me?
Yeah.
First of all, one deal breaker would be a non-Christian. That's number one. It's a no. I just think, like, I might be attracted to someone who is not a Christian and he might tick all the box, quote unquote. Honestly, I don't even know what that box is. It changes every year. But yeah, it changes every time. But I would just say someone who is not a Christian or someone who is not like a disciple, quote unquote, who is not under submission to God, I would never consider that person. It's a deal breaker for me. Okay. That's one major one. I mean, the one that I've established.
Yeah. What about you?
Same with Daniel. Not a Christian, then Papa. Same.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you teach them the word?
No, not triumph.
I don't want to talk about that because that's not what we're talking about.
It's the Holy Spirit that will
that
change
question
them.
is something, maybe that's something we should talk about another time.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, we'll definitely come back to that. Okay, so now we have the issues. We have the issues of lies. We have the issues of religion.
Yes.
But I really want to dig into the issue of lies. I really want to dig into that issue of lies.
Can I say something?
I'm sorry.
Okay, you go first.
Sorry, let me interrupt at this point.
Sorry.
She made a very important point about deal breakers not being, being something that you cannot entertain. But I'm just thinking to myself, I think the starting point will be for me values. Are we aligned on the same values? But it seems to me that deal breakers will definitely be something you find out along the line that are pretty much not obvious, that might have been taken for granted to be there. So it's not, I guess, for instance, the issue of same religion. If you're already into the relationship and then you are bringing that up, it doesn't seem to work for me. So I wouldn't call that a deal breaker.
Okay.
What won't you call a deal breaker?
I mean, I'm wondering the same thing too, but it's okay.
I understand.
Into a relationship without knowing someone's religion.
Oh, people pretend, girl.
Yeah,
so for instance,
Exactly.
No, someone can,
How far can you
Men will
That's
go
a
to
red
church
flag.
for you.
Oh,
Yes,
come.
yes.
See, don't even go there. Don't go there.
You see why
No, a man will be a preacher for you.
Okay.
You understand me? People will go to a certain extent just to get you.
Okay.
You understand me? And then when they have you, that's when they now start,
Displaying.
unveiling, displaying their true colors.
But
And-
I don't think we can hide. I mean,
I don't think I can.
I believe ladies have got instincts. Ladies have got, you guys have got instinct. I mean, we always say psychologically you're smarter than us.
That is true. Like sometimes people have this instinct. They are not, they are sure. At the same time, they're like, oh, maybe this person is going through a phase, but give it time. But I don't want to be the person who will connect you to God. I don't have the strength for that. You have to. But
Sorry,
yeah.
if you permit me, I think let's stay on track.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. In this case, based on the example she's given, the deal breaker would be pretense. Because you have taken for granted that this person is telling you the truth up until the time you found out. If it's important to you to have, to share the same faith, and this person has been, pretending all the while, once you realize that, then you can call it off. Because that just doesn't work.
That's lying. That's
Yeah.
an example of lying.
You really want me to dig into the
No,
issue
no,
of
no, no,
life?
no, no, because you wanted,
No,
you wanted to dig into the lie. So I'm telling you that now it is in line with the
Some lies are
lying.
permissible.
We'll not go there, but yes,
Yes,
of course.
so yes,
but then
true.
what I'm trying to say is that you wanted to go into like the topic of like lying as a deal breaker. So I'm like, this is a very good example of lying being a deal breaker, pretending, being what you're not. You understand? Not presenting the true person, and it's a whole relationship. So that means you took me for granted. You took everything for granted. You wasted my time. You wasted, like, that one. When you find out, I don't think there's anything, for me, I don't think there's anything like maybe second chance. Nah,
What if you're
it's
so
not a movie.
in love with the person that you
Please,
love?
no. There's a
No,
point.
don't say that.
No, listen.
But
There's
one
a
thing-
point where love does not work anymore.
Oh,
No, love can start at the beginning. Love
people
is
say
sweet.
love
Love
blinds.
is sweet. But there's a point where love can prevent you from working. Love can stop, like, love can blind you from so many things. So you have to make sure that, the love is there, but you also have to add certain values. You also have to add certain things that would help the relationship last. Or if you know what is best for yourself, you not even consider love. If you love yourself so much, you will think about yourself first, in the sense that I'm with somebody that pretended, like, let's say 2 years of relationship. The person lied to me for 2 good years. You've been looking at this person, going on dates.
Ladies prefer
And the
when
person
guy
looks you in the
pretends.
eye and you tell me that you
don't
still
say
love
ladies,
this person, so
maybe
you're going to
some.
stay. I don't know if you get me.
Thank you.
Gerard,
Because some ladies.
That's-
Oh yeah,
I
Gerard.
think what I wanted to say was first we should classify lie and pretense in one bracket. And then also for me, the issue of lie, I think my own deal breaker would be the third lie, because sometimes people mistakenly lie, and especially when they're put under the pressure. No, seriously, you can lie mistakenly. And so the first one is allowed, second one is allowed, but the third one, you know that it's a pattern. And that becomes a deal breaker for me.
So in that situation, I mean, what I was going to also put with that, I mean, I agree with you, Gerard. So, but one thing I'm looking at is the fact that there are situations, like I said. I mean, it's this one pattern I've seen with we guys. I mean, let's be honest. Ladies, there's a particular lady you're really into. She wants this particular, a certain guy. I mean, there's an expectation. But then we need to pretend. We need to form up into that for we to get that acceptance we're looking for. So in that situation, is that permissible for you?
Are you asking to, like, the ladies?
Yeah, the ladies.
Oh, for me, my perspective, because I feel like we shouldn't be so quick to generalize and say ladies or guys. For me, I would rather you be yourself and tell me, hey, I can't meet your expectation, because I want you to be clear. What's the whole point of me being with someone if you can't even breathe? You're literally choking around me, all in the name of love. I want you to be yourself, and you communicate. You say, hey, I can't meet your expectation and everything. And sometimes expectations too can be unrealistic. You cannot put a whole expectation on someone and, you just want this change now, or you want things to be a certain way, and things don't just become a certain way. You build into what you're trying to achieve, and even though you might set goals, you might have like, oh, this is how I want it to be. The person also has expectations for you, and I don't think you can put it all on him and say, I want this guy to be a certain way with me, or I want to look at you in a certain way, so be like this. No. For me, I wouldn't want the person I like or the person I'm in love with to be like that. No.
I have an advice for women.
Okay, please do.
Now, if a man tells you that,
Caleb,
what's,
get the advice
what's
from
the
the guys.
what's the kind of man you want, you just tell him that, how about you be yourself, so I know if you're the kind of man that I want.
Rather than you telling them what.
Yes,
what you
because
want.
the man would become what you want. The
But
next
it's true.
day.
Yeah, but it's true. Like what
I
I was.
agree with that as well. I am of the opinion that you don't ask someone you are dating, that question, or someone you are, unless you are just fact finding, like you see someone and then you're just trying to check where they are at and what is important to them.
And not like romantically interested in that person.
I like how he was like romance.
You are,
Let him
but
put in
at least
there.
at that point you are not in the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I think you alluded to already that there are expectations and maybe a mold that some people have in their minds, and once you hear that and you know exactly where you are not, I mean, you do not fit into that mold and all of that. If the other partner keeps pressing on that, then it's going to take away your peace in that relationship. So the most important thing is, do you fit, at least to yourself you must know, this person that I want to be with, do they fit into what I want? If they don't, let me not waste their time. Let me not waste their effort. I think it's another side to it is that it's unkind for people to be in a relationship with someone else or even eventually marry them and wanting to change them. I think it's not the business of anyone to try to change anyone, to school them, to train them. No. Let them do all that by themselves. Let them get influenced by other people, but let them bring who they are, their natural self, into the relationship. That is the time you can really get the best from the relationship.
So we're gonna bring this to a close because of our time. Yeah. All right. So remember to subscribe, just like and share as well, and then we're definitely gonna see you on the next episode. Yeah. See you.
Peace.
Peace.